Thanks so much, Alex. And it's fantastic to be here in Berlin to see so many people gathered around what we're all trying to do here around this GIPHY initiative. And in fact, I remember the first time I came to Berlin was just after the Berlin Wall came down. And back then, there was this huge difference between East Berlin and West Berlin. It was like two different cities that had a wall between them. And over the last 25 years, it's been amazing to see how they've merged, become one, and become this huge, vibrant global city, and the powerhouse of open source in many ways as well. And I like that because it's very symbolic of what we're doing here with Flannel and Calico. So the vision here, this is what it's going to look like when we're done with Canal. Not that we'll be done, but where we're moving towards. We'll have a single CNI plugin into Kubernetes, and then below that, Calico implements policy, and Flannel has all the multiple backends that it has today, and a few more that it's going to get from what we currently implement in Calico. So we have a single unified solution, all backed by etcd, integrated into Kubernetes, and by extension integrated into Tectonic as well. So this is where we're headed towards. We think this is something that the user community is really going to embrace. In fact, a large part of the reasoning why we got to this point of agreeing to do this with CoreOS was because we had the end users coming to us in Calico saying, we like your policy stuff, but can we use it over Flannel? And Alex came to me and said, we're hearing the same thing as well. So we do believe this is something there's a lot of pent-up demand for out there among the user community. And the other reason why the timing of this is so important is I think a lot of the early deployments of Kubernetes to date have really been very early trials. People are just getting the hang of it. And as we go to full-scale production, people are much more concerned about how do I do security, how do I implement policies across a large infrastructure. And so the timing of this is just right in terms of where the market is at and the development of the market, as well as obviously the implementation in Kubernetes itself. And what it means is for users and for developers, it means there's one go-to place that's the best of breed implementation for open, secure cloud networking. It's the de facto standard. You don't have to say, am I going to use Calico, am I going to use Flannel? That decision's gone now. You just use Canal and you get the best of both worlds. And from the developer's perspective, from our team and from the CoreOS team, it means that we don't have to duplicate resources, we don't have to be implementing things in Flannel and Calico. We just focus on whatever's best for the integrated project and whatever's best for the community. So we think this is a real win-win, and we're really excited about it. And just a word, because some of you may be users of Flannel today, some of you may be users of Calico today. In fact, I know some of you are. This doesn't mean that those projects are going away. They will continue to exist and have separate lives, but as part of this Canal initiative. So, leads to the question, if there's two companies involved in this, putting it all together, obviously CoreOS has Flannel, and for those of you who are familiar with Project Calico, we're sponsored and homed right now in a company called Metaswitch Networks. How do Metaswitch and CoreOS kind of put this together? Well, the answer is, after some work on what was the right way to structure this, we decided to set up a new company specifically to take this project and take, in fact, all of these projects and be the maintainers for Flannel, Calico, and Canal. So we're really excited today to announce that Tigera is the new standard solution for secure cloud networking. This has been a few months in the making, as you can imagine, but we're actually launching this as of today, and we think it's really important for the community to be involved in this. So, we've obviously put a lot of the work into this together with CoreOS, but we really are encouraging all the developers who've been involved in these projects to embrace this and to collaborate. The other thing is this is done obviously together with Metaswitch. So Metaswitch has actually contributed the Calico project into Tigera and contributed to the team, and so the team is moving from Metaswitch into Tigera. So there's absolute continuity of support for existing customers, and all the know-how is going forward with this. And I'm also excited to say, as of today, we're not just announcing the company, but we've also closed our Series A financing, which gives us a pretty extensive runway to kick this thing off and really start to put some real resources behind it. So we think this is a great foundation for the vision that we have for secure networking in the cloud. So that's obviously just a little taster of what we're doing here. And I do encourage you, there's a breakout session tomorrow. I'm sure the parallel ones would be great, but this is the one to get into if you can. We're going to have our VP of Engineering, Alex Pollitt, who many of you will know, together with Brandon Phillips, who I hope all of you know, talking about the work that we've done to date, and kind of what is there right now, and how we're going to be taking that forward and the vision in a lot more detail. And we can do a demo because this is something that's implemented now. We just got it integrated into the CoreOS Kubernetes distro, and you can go download that as of today. You might want to go to the session tomorrow and find out a little bit more about it and see the demo, but do download it, try it out. It's essentially a preliminary integration of Calico and Flannel, but it's working, and you can use the Kube AWS tool within the CoreOS repo there to just go try it out, and it'll install it all on AWS, real easy to use. And you can, if you want to get into more detail and try it on other platforms, you can go in there and see the scripts and see how it's all done. Okay, so that's our announcements for today on open and secure networking, and I'll hand back to Alex. Thank you.